Hello friends, my name is Dave. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this fragrance hobby. Now today is a review for myself. My meaning because of how much I love this fragrance and also the genre of this fragrance. It's a classic from 1994, way back then. And the name is Havana from the house Aramis. The whole line of Aramis in this bottle is all very, very good. And I really appreciate it. And the second reason why it's review for myself is because maybe a lot of the people that buy fragrance nowadays, they don't look into this house, they don't know this house, and maybe the style is kind of different than the mass appealing scent profile of these days, of today's world, that they don't have a chance to really enjoy this one. So it's kind of saddens me, but then that means is a lot of that you could treasure hunt, a lot of fragrance that you could actually open your nose to. Maybe once after you kind of try most of these today's modern scents, and then when your nose is more ready, and then you might say, you know what, let me go and dive into another direction, see what else are out there. There's a lot of great ones in the past, especially they're very inexpensive now. Like this house, Aramis, is such a great house. Granted, a lot of the formulation are different than in the past, where they are so strong, so powerful, and longevity is legendary. But it's been watered down nowadays because the price is so cheap. Is you could pick this up for between $20 to $25. The whole series, the whole lineup. I have a whole bunch of these. Example, just standing next to it is the Aramis 900. This is such a barbershop scent, but Havana is gonna go into the tobacco scent. So let me go ahead and spray this a couple times and then walk you through it a little bit. The bottle is very classic, all right? It's just a generic bottle, but it's nice sitting on the shelf with the whole collection. And I like the little logo up in the front, Havana, little drawing. So he's trying to portray, basically, if you enjoying the Cuba Havana, smoking tobacco. So this is dominated by okay, let me back away. Beginning top notes, after I'm spraying this, I'm picking up some orange and then artemisia, and then some caraway and basil. So if you have trouble trying to imagine what that smells like, basically the orange is kind of surrounding on the outside, while inside there's a basil notes, and artemisia it's a herbal note, like herbal, and the stronger caraway that's in the middle with so basically the orange is kind of surrounding it. And then you're gonna go to the middle where there's the tobacco waiting. Now the tobacco is not the super heavy type of tobacco, it's more of a fresher lighted take because of the supporting notes of the basil, and it's kind of propping it up. And they added some cinnamon, but it's light cinnamon. You're not gonna get that much spice or the sweetness from the cinnamon. But then you're gonna also add in more green notes of fir and carnation, the flower. So with that in mind, this is still dominated by tobacco. And then you're gonna go into the base and the dry down. You're gonna smell that the classical oak moss. All right. Now this oak moss is being dimmed down, it's being neutered. So don't worry about it being too powerful that it's hard to take. It's not. This is very enjoyable type of fresh type of oak moss. And then you're gonna have some patchouli, a little bit of sweetness, and vetiver and sandalwood, even though all those are playing in the background. So into my nose, I pick up the most is the light tobacco. Light meaning it's not super heavy. Like when you're smoking tobacco, it's not from that warm smoke, but it's gonna be from maybe smelling the tobacco leaf, all right? Because all those green notes kind of supporting it, give me the imagery of tobacco leaf. And the oak moss is really there accompanying the tobacco, and those two kind of dominate, and also some patchouli. So those three will dominate the whole fragrance, with everything else, especially the greenery of the fir and carnation and basil and artemisia sitting in the back and kind of hanging around a little bit. So you get a whole vibe of this. Now, I don't know, I haven't been to Havana before, but it's an imagery that's trying to transport us into that feel. Maybe if we're sitting on next to the beach, sitting on the beach at nighttime, and enjoying the music in the background and people dancing, and you have a tobacco pipe smoke, in your hand with a drink or two, and just enjoy the warm air, the scenery. I would imagine this is what it would smell like, and the whole vibe. I think they did a great job for this house, Aramis. It's a classic. People still buy this. There's a reason why. I just hope the newer people that get into the fragrance hobby will dive into this house. It's so inexpensive. You pick up one or two, any of this is all great. Maybe except New West. That's more of a modern scent, modern take, more of a like a bluish type of modern take. New West, get it? New West. But anything else like the 900, this is Havana, and this couple more with really cool names. So it Tuscany as well. So Tuscany is another great one. Okay. Now as far as 900, I'll maybe talk about this later. This is more barbershop, but Havana can be that, but it's not as much as the 900, which is a total barbershop, type of scent. So with that said, Havana is great. I really think if you're 21 and up, it's going to be suitable for you, as long as you expect the tobacco notes and a little bit of some oak moss in supporting, like light oak moss. Okay, not super strong. It's not pungent. It's not going to bring you back to this, the old days. But what it does? It does take you to one of those classier times, right? So yeah, it does actually. So let me take that back. It will transport you to one of this classier feel. So, but for myself, I think it's great. I love to be transported to a different era, different time, different atmosphere, different surroundings. That's often I look for that in fragrances. I want to be transported. I want to take me to Egypt. I wanted to take me to the deep sea. I want to take me to the sky, wherever it is, to the jungle, right? So yeah, so to Havana. Anyway, with that said, as far as versatility, you do need to wear this in the right place. It's not going to be for work unless your work they smoke, right? So maybe for school it's not either, because it does smell pretty powerful. This one is a powerhouse, even though it's been around for such a long time, like I said, since 94, but it still packs a punch. I can still smell it on my hand, and it's almost 7 or 8 minutes. Usually I'm very dry, you suck up the fragrance, but this one is still projecting, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm being reminded of why I enjoyed it in the first place. So this is great when you want to relax at nighttime and just feel some vibe with the tobacco. That's one of those notes that is not mass appealing, the tobacco and oak moss notes. But then, if you want to enjoy fragrance, it's something that you should look into and then kind of get used to it. Even though if you don't smoke, right? I don't smoke, but then I enjoy the warmth. I enjoy the vibe, the sensation that tobacco notes, the scent carries for me, and the imagery it brings, and the environment, right? I could just imagine like remember the movie Titanic, where all those super rich people sitting around gathering at the after dinner, they would gather around smoking pipes and drinking whiskey, and just on this luxurious sofa and furniture, and talk about how much the money they have, how rich they are, right? How successful each of themselves are, right? So this it could be that feel with a fireplace in the background. So that in itself is an imagery that is so cool to go into, right? So with that said, open your nose and try all the different types of scents. That's what I think. It's just a suggestion. But with that said, if you can look into the house, it's very cheap. All right then. Cheap. I'm sorry, very inexpensive. Meaning, the quality is not cheap, but the price is. I hope this review is helpful, and if it does, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for your support and watching the videos. As always, thank you, and see you next time.